It's really good. Well, welcome to my kitchen. Today, we're going to attempt to do cinnamon bread. What you see me was mix 2 cups of all-purpose flour with 2 tablespoons, just real tablespoons of baking powder. No baking soda, just baking powder, no eggs. I've used this recipe to make biscuits, to make pancakes. It's a yogurt based dough. You can look at my videos turning lemons into lemonades and biscuits and pancakes. I got this by mistake, and not a mistake now. Got it on my order by mistake, and I wanted to use it up. And so we're going to see if we can do a cinnamon bread this morning in a loaf pan. So are y'all ready for that? You'll have to write down the instructions as we go along, because it's just the first time. What they say is always a first time for everything. Alright, so I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour that I turned into self-rising, or you can use 2 cups of self-rising, whatever you have. I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon into the flour and mix it up. After all, we're making cinnamon bread. I don't have a recipe. I've never made cinnamon bread in my life. I've eaten plenty of it. Buy it in the little loaves. So let me turn my jazz down here a little bit. It's funny, do y'all have a favorite music that you listen to when you're cooking? If I'm cooking steaks, I want some rock and roll music going. And I'm usually listening to it in the background because and it has to be odd stations, because YouTube will, if their computer picks that up, and it's like the Beach Boys or AC/DC or anything which I listen to, or the Beatles, it shows that that's music someone else made, and they need to get paid, which I understand clearly. So I just don't do it. It's a lot to keep up with, and you know, I just play music that is on my channel. You hear e-music, it's non-copyright music. So and there's actually some non-copyright music that you wouldn't think. Anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole and ain't got nothing to do with baking cinnamon. we'll talk about music another day, another time. So let me get back around here. So how much cinnamon I'm gonna add? Heck, I don't even know. I got the same big teaspoon. That's a Jethro spoon. Let's just put one of those. Bring it out and dump it in, and see what it looks like. I've got my oven setting on 300. It's preheated. I've got my loaf pan sprayed with Baker's Joy. I don't know if you've ever used any of this or not. I'll use butter spray or butter, but I was out at Baker's Joy the last couple of times. I baked some bread and I finally got some back in. It's so easy to use. It's a spray that has flour mixed in with it. So I think that's what it does. If any of y'all have ever used that, let me know. I just think it's a great product. So cinnamon bread is a little bit sweet. I mean, I know there's all types. You know, really sweet, and so I don't want it really sweet, but you know, enough that I know it's cinnamon bread. So same old spoon to one of those. This recipe, like I say, this is a derivative or a offshoot of my biscuit recipe I made with yogurt. And I will tell you, those biscuits are really good, but the texture is different. It's almost like an English muffin. So that's why I got to think, well, maybe I can bake a loaf of it. If you're seeing this video, it must have made a loaf of bread, because if it don't, I'm going to delete the whole video the time I worked on it. So anyway, there's the sugar. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now here's where it gets tricky. The amount of yogurt to put in. The last batches I've been making, I just made 1 cup of flour, and I get another spoon dirty. 1 cup of flour and almost 1 cup, or a little over 1 cup of yogurt. That stuff is real thick. I make sure it's stirred up a little bit. I mean, this is not flavored, this is just Greek yogurt. And it's actually non-fat. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to get some of this out into this cup. I'm going to pour a cup into it. Got a spatula here. I hope all of you are doing good and the world is treating you fair. Well, as fair as it is. So let me get this 1 cup in here, and we're gonna see what happens at this point. I've got one other product I'm gonna add. I just do believe it's gonna need more liquid. I don't think this is enough. And my heart is saying, oh dude, that ain't enough liquid. You're gonna make biscuits again. And it's gonna have to be liquid enough that I can roll this out and hold together, but I mean, I don't want it like a cake batter runny. So let's see. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit more, not a lot. So what I've got here, this Sunday morning, my coffee, I wanted a little cream in it, so I use evaporated milk. So how much? I don't know, maybe a 1/4 cup. Let's start with there and see what happens. And I've got a big old stand mixer over there, and that thing's heavy, like lifting a ton of lead. And it's great. I've had it for years, but I just didn't want to use it to do this application with. I need to get the strength in my arms, and so that was about a 1/4 cup. So how about a 1/4 more? So that's a 1/2 cup, somewhere around that. And depending on how hot your house is or how cool yours is, and do you keep your flour in the fridge, in the freezer, you know, it may take more or less liquid to get it to come to a dough. Also the altitude, and it could be your attitude. All those changes can make a difference in dough. I think it's coming together pretty close here. I've got to get this good enough to roll out. I think that's going to be, I think that'll be good enough. All right. Let me get my board ready for to roll this out, and I'll bring you right back. All right, as you can see, I should be like the professional. I've got some AP flour, yeah, all-purpose. I just with nothing in it, just regular flour here. I'm gonna put this out. I'm gonna see if this is good enough that I can start turning it out and kneading it. I need it to be in a ball. It seems like it's coming together pretty good. Like I say, this may turn out to be a 10-pound brick. I just don't know. Never baked cinnamon rolls, and I just got a feeling this ain't the recipe to use to make cinnamon rolls, but it's sticking together, kind of, sort of. Let's just turn it out and go for it. Get rid of that. Here's the fun part. I love kneading dough. There's just something about that. And I just keep turning it into itself. Mashing it with the heel of my hand. Get the little straggly pieces. Keep rolling it back into itself. Have any of you ever even baked cinnamon roll or cinnamon bread? These are the same thing, but cinnamon rolls. Excuse me, cinnamon bread. It seems like it's coming together okay. It's a little ragged. I could have put a little bit more milk into it. But too late now. You could probably drop a little water on top of it and work it in, but heck, I don't want to do that. I'm hard-headed. I just want to try it like I've got it here. Let's say drive it like you stole it. And of course, it's actually going to go pretty good. I'm going to just pat it out. I'm not going to get my... You know what? I lied to you. I'm going to go get my rolling pin. I think it'd just be easier on my hands. Let me get my rolling pin. I'll be right back. There it is. All right, old dude, get set back down so you can do this. So I'm going to roll it back and forth this way. Well, the dough's coming together better than I thought. I'm not going to push it much further than this pan is here. can see here to here. I know my light's terrible this morning, but that's the pan it's going to go into. So you get this pushed out here, so it'll be even thickness here. Flip this over. Yeah. Surprisingly, boy, it smells really good. It smells like cinnamon bread. Is that a good sign? Or I just shot myself in the foot by saying that. All right. So we're going to take some softened butter. Butter. Take a pastry brush. You can put it on, you can do it by hand, it don't matter. You just want it down there. You want enough to help the cinnamon that I'm going to put on here, the cinnamon sugar in the middle. See, because I'm not going to stop with just cinnamon bread. I'm going to make a cinnamon swirl. I figure if I'm going to screw up, I might as well screw up royally and really make the whole screw up. I've been thinking about this. Went to bed thinking about this last night. Okay, how do I do this? And if I'm going to put cinnamon, do I add it at the first? Can I add it at the end? Do I add it and twist it and make the swirl in the, you know how the swirls in cinnamon bread are swirly pattern, swirls? So, I think that's enough butter for right now. I've got my, as I call it, my juice, it's cinnamon sugar blended together. I know this is crazy, but I'm just going to do some diagonals across here. I think you see what I'm going to do, right? Now, this butter don't want to let it stick to itself, but that's okay. The dough's actually turned out pretty good. A lot better than what I thought. It's not too raggedy, snaggledy. All right, let me get this flour cleaned up and I'll be right back with you. All right, get this dough off my cutting board. Does it fit? Shoot, yeah, fits pretty, fits like a glove. If it didn't fit, I'd say, oh, this is OJ's glove. Didn't fit. So I'm just going to kind of pat it down, not a lot. I've got a little butter left. A little butter, never hurt anybody. I'm probably really screwing up now, but there's something about when butter gets cooked, it has a reaction, Maillard reaction, or I forget what they call that, but there's a reaction to butter when it's cooked, and it makes stuff brown. I'm going to cook this at a real low temperature, like really low, like 300. I bake biscuits at 400, but it's thick. I don't know how long it'll take to cook it on the inside. And the only way I really know to do this is to take and poke it with a wooden skewer or knife and see, 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, see if it's got crumbs or not, or I don't want to bake it until it's dry. So that's that. Get some of my juice. Sprinkle some on the outside. Can you see that? There you go. Now here's the question. Tell me. I've had my coffee pot going over. I'm going to bake it in that oven, and I've got the oven preheated. Do I take this and set it on top and see if it will rise a little bit? Rise to the occasion, as they say. Or do I just put it in the oven and let her rip, tater chip? I think I'm going to give it about 8 minutes on top of the oven where it's just warm, not in the oven, and see what will happen. It's not going to hurt anything if it doesn't do anything. I don't think. We'll see. So I'll bring you back here in just a little bit when I get ready to put that in the oven. I'll even set an alarm on it so I don't forget. Time will tell. All right, let's go back in here. I set my alarm to see if this thing would rise. I decided I was going to wait 30 minutes. Did it rise at all? Yeah, it did a little bit. How about that? Let's put this in the oven. All right, let's get it in the oven. I'm going to turn it sideways. Bring y'all back in about 30 minutes. All right, let's see what she looks like. She's been in. She's rising to the occasion. She's been in at 7 minutes. It's slow. I don't think it'll puff up like bread puffing up. I think it's going to be more dense, which I really hope that works. It's got a pretty color starting on it. It's been 30 minutes. Let's check it. Is she rising to the occasion? Boy, it smells really good. Looks like it is. I wonder what it feels like. It actually kind of feels like it's cooked. I don't think so. Well, let's check it. That burnt, that oven's hot. Well, it came out pretty clean. I'm going to flip it around. Look like the sides are getting brown on it. Hey, let me shut this alarm off. Tell you, I wasn't paying attention. I'm going to put it back in for 5 more minutes. And let's see what happens. All right, boys and girls, let's see what she looks like. I just turned off the timer. It's gone for a little over 30 minutes. Total time, my oven at 300. My oven runs hot, so it could be like 325, I don't know. And the light's bright, sorry about that. Reflection's too bright on you. It sounds like it's done. Yep, I told you I'd said it was right. All right, let's see what this looks like. Get it out of there. I know it smells really good. Hey, dude, don't burn yourself. All right, let's get this over to a cooling rack. Yes, it is hot. You know, it's hard to hold a loaf pan, a hot loaf pan, and as if you ain't very strong. And get it over to a cooling rack. Let me bring you back. We'll dump this out. She's a thing of beauty. Yum. I know Martha Stewart's up in Maine or wherever she lives saying, "The hell, old dude, you can't bake cinnamon bread like this. You didn't follow the rules." And if Snoop Dogg's around, he's saying, "Hey, have another hit. He's doing good." All right, let's just turn this disaster or cinnamon smelling brick out, or whatever it's going to be. Let's see. Oh yeah, she came out, no problem. Oh, it's heavy. Isn't that pretty? It's hot. All right, let's get this cinnamon bread cut. I got Mr. P here.
What's up, y'all?
I think I was baking this and he could smell it and came over here like, hey, get down here so you can see this bread. Oh, it cuts easy. Oh, man. Get this knife and board so I don't dull my knife here. Cool enough, finally. See that swirl? Yeah. Old dude did it. Did it swirl all the way through? Yes, it did. And it's still hot, 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 and burning. Good thing I got tough old bird hands. Now this ain't got no sweet sauce on it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just to try it out and see what it's like. See if it tastes good.
Very good.
Very good. I'm gonna agree with you. Very good.
Yeah.
Here comes a plate flying in from the bar area. You could be on, you know. Oh no, oh, you're not going to be on this morning. Are you talking? You're not even talking this morning. You're shaking your head. No, she ain't going to be on. It's got a good chew to it. Oh, you're supposed to be quiet over there, you know. Oh, so how was it? I'll get her to talk now.
Delicious.
She can talk without makeup on. It is good. There's a cinnamon swirl. After it cools down, maybe 30 minutes or an hour, I'll come back and put some glaze on top of it. It's like a donut glaze, just a light glaze. See y'all in 30.
Good.
All right, let's make a quick glaze. Just powdered sugar. You can put butter in it if you'd like. You can just mix it with warm water. I'm gonna skip the butter. Still working on my girlish figure. Well, take it back. I ain't never had a girlish figure, but so I'm trying to find my 6-pack. It's there under a couple of cases. So a couple of drops of vanilla. Not a lot. Doesn't take a lot. And I've got some canned milk. Just a couple of drops of that. All right, so here. And just take your fork and whip it. Whip it good. I wish I could play that song. Whip it good. You can hear people at the bar over here like, hey, get that mixed up and shut up. We want some cinnamon bread. All right, see, it's a little bit. You can see it needs a little bit more sugar. You know, recipes are just guidelines. The more sugar you put in it, the more powdered sugar you put in it, the thicker it's gonna get. And this can be used on cinnamon rolls, donuts. It's really good on bread pudding. Porter, you ever had bread pudding? It's pretty good. I'll make some of that when y'all get back. I'll make y'all small loaves in the house. It's just like this bread, except it's all cooked together like a casserole kind of.
Yeah.
And it's got this glaze on top of it. So turn it down so y'all can see what I'm doing. All right. Is that good enough? Just get it so it'll run out like that. It's cool enough. Yeah, I think it's cool enough. Let me get some paper and put down here. keep getting stuff everywhere. Mr. P told me a while ago he had never even had powdered sugar, so. Let's see here. Let's get this on here. It's probably going to run off when we first put it on because it's still a little bit warm. That's okay. Get you around here so you can see me drizzle it on. Let me get it really up in the air like the shelves do. You know, I'm a four-star Michelin chef. Well, I got 4 Michelins on my car anyways. That made me a chef. All right. Mr. P, taste of that.
Great. It's like cinnamon roll from
There
out
you,
the store.
there you go. Just like the kind you buy at the store. See, the old dude's got skills. I don't know what they are, but I got skills anyway. There you go. Homemade cinnamon bread with donut glaze. Just a light glaze. This stuff is really good, and you can see it's really easy to make. I gotta have a taste with some glaze. It's just now starting to cool off. All right. Yeah, so good. You gotta make this, boys and girls. It's easy recipe. Made great cinnamon bread, swirl bread. Please subscribe if you're not. And if you've been subscribed, thank you so much for helping me get to the point I am. It's been kind of a short 18 months to get here, but I do appreciate everybody's help. Comment, leave me a comment. Have you ever made cinnamon bread? And I know nobody's ever made it this way because I just don't. Maybe there's people that's made it this way. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. So all y'all bakers, don't send me hate mails that I didn't do it right, because the proof is in the pudding and it tastes really good. See y'all later.